So I stopped watching football years ago, and I didn't stop watching because I think the games suck or anything like that, or that the sport's not the same, that football's getting soft, things of that nature. Those things are true, in my opinion, but I still think that it's extremely entertaining. Still, these are titans going at it, so that's still kind of entertaining to watch. But the reason why I stopped watching football is there's no way you can do YouTube, have a life, and be a sports fan. I just can't keep up with it all. So I knew I would have to give something up. So I stopped watching sports for the most part. But I can still sit down with friends and enjoy the hell out of a game. I still enjoy the sport. But luckily I have some friends on Patreon, Tanya, who knows more about football than I do. She's a sports nut. Most of my football knowledge came from Madden. I just have a really competitive spirit, and I wanted to beat my brother, so I was learning the rosters and the attributes of players from different generations. Because I didn't grow up watching football traditionally, so I didn't see a lot of there's a lot of eras in football that I didn't get a chance to witness. So, Earl Campbell, I have heard of him, but I have never seen a game. And I'm looking up some stats here before we watch his highlights, before I see them for the first time. It says here, Earl Campbell's career included 9,407 rushing yards, 74 rushing touchdowns. 74 rushing touchdowns is pretty good. And 10,213 combined net yards over 8 seasons with the Houston Oilers and the New Orleans Saints. His achievements include the 1979 NFL MVP award, 3 Offensive Player of the Year awards, the 1978 Rookie of the Year award, and 5 Pro Bowl selections. A dominant runner known for his powerful combination of speed, strength, and he was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 1991 and the University of Texas Athletics Hall of Honor in 1988. That is impressive, okay? Just a straight monster dominating things. And so Tanya on Patreon wants me to check this out. This is her request. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started, if you like this type of content, do me a big favor and like the video. If you want to stay up to date whenever we post, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's get into it.
And here goes Earl Campbell. Ooh. He knocked Robertson on his back.
Right off the bat, truck stick.
And here goes Earl Campbell.
Ooh.
He knocked Robertson on his back.
Earl Campbell is strong.
Ran
And he
over,
will put
Isaiah.
his shoulders into your chest.
15, 10, 5.
Is that still legal? Can you still do that today? Can you still drop your shoulder like that? I mean, I don't think there's any such thing as too rough on the offensive end. When you have the ball, the way these defensive players be trying to take your head off, so they got to be able to take it just as hard as they can, just as hard as they give it out.
Campbell. He knocked Robertson on his back.
Earl Campbell is strong.
Ooh.
Ran over,
With
Isaiah.
the jersey.
Into your chest.
15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Earl Campbell.
Boy, what an intimidating
Yo, his stiff arm is ridiculous.
Earl Campbell is strong. And
Ran
he
over,
will put
Isaiah.
his
I think
shoulders
watch how he assaults this guy.
into your chest.
15, 10, 5.
Oh my goodness.
Touchdown, Earl Campbell.
Boy, what an
Ass
intimidating presence.
The running back is good at just being himself. He doesn't have to front it for nobody.
Campbell. He has great speed. And he has tremendous speed. What a show this man has put on tonight.
This guy is one of the toughest football players in my mind that ever played.
Okay. I watched Barry Sanders highlights, which instantly became my favorite running back. Running back was always my favorite position in the NFL to watch. And also, when I played Madden, which I haven't played Madden in a while, but I'm thinking about dusting off the old controller. But anyways, the running back was always a position I always loved to watch. It's like the gladiator making it through the Titans, whether you have the elusive backs, you have the power backs, you have the guys that are fast You have the guys that have a combination of different powers, and it's kind of fun to watch. And seeing this guy with speed, power, in a pinch of disrespect is lovely to watch. All right, goodness gracious.
And he has tremendous strength. What a show this man has put on tonight.
This guy is one of the toughest football players in my mind that ever
I like these jerseys too.
played.
Yes, sir.
I said, what are you talking about? She said, you hadn't heard? We were traded for the #1 pick. I started screaming, hey!
When he left University of Texas, he came on the scene. He was a star.
The bus.
He was great from day one.
Pass ready, retreats to throw. Quick out to Campbell, has a blocker in front. At the 30, 35, 40, 45, he's open. 50, 45, 40, 35, 20, 50.
This is back when America was serving real food, okay? That's the reason why now players, they get hurt really easy, all right? Because they've had Burger King the night before.
A star. He was great from day one.
Pass ready, retreats to throw. Quick out to Campbell, has a
It's
blocker
amazing what the human body can do.
in front. At the 30, 35, 40, 45, he's open.
Look at the speed.
50, 45, 40, 35, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell. Inside the 30. Campbell.
Just not afraid of the contact at all.
15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell. Inside the 30. Campbell.
Beautiful.
Campbell. Earl Campbell busted the tackle of Isaiah Roberts in the fourth quarter, 10-3 Los Angeles. And here goes Earl Campbell. He knocked Robertson on his back.
That is just a thing of beauty. I got to see it again. They already showed this a few times, but the way he breaks this and then just drops his shoulder and
Campbell busted the tackle of Isaiah Roberts in the fourth quarter, 10-3 Los Angeles. And here goes Earl Campbell.
Get off of me, then drop immediately. Takes this dude out.
He knocked Robertson on his back.
Beautiful.
Takes two of them.
Boy, did he hit Robertson.
Earl Campbell is strong, and he will put his shoulders into your chest.
This crowd is noisy now.
I bet he pulls parts out of cars with no tools. Beautiful.
Touchdown. Campbell, and he finds an opening and turns it on. Look out. Gets away from Wagner. Campbell. The hands go up. Touchdown. Campbell's third of the night.
This was the bragging rights era, Like, they didn't just play for money. They played for respect, And when it just looks like players are just looking for money now, they're just chasing the next big contract, things of that nature, it just takes the magic out of the sport. That's any sport, whether it's the golf, basketball, football, the reason why Michael Jordan is addicted to gambling. He's extremely competitive, but that's what makes him great, that competitive spirit. And, even, my kid, where I had him playing some soccer with kids and I didn't know at the league that everybody was getting a trophy. I was like, he doesn't deserve a trophy. I don't want him to get a trophy. He didn't win. That's not how I grew up. You know what I mean? You play to win the game. Hello? Oh, good tackle, though.
Coming out of Texas.
Good way to hawk him down. Hold on.
Coming out of Texas, the Heisman Trophy winner, and he comes in here and helps these guys out, running the ball over 300 times in that season. Just an incredible back.
Campbell, he has great speed. And he has tremendous
I got to stop. This is going to be a long-ass video.
He has great speed.
Oh.
And he has tremendous strength.
It knocks him off his feet.
Campbell, forget it.
Sacrifice his whole body.
One tackle, and this is what he does so well. Second down, forget it. That's what he can do now. Outside, gets the block from his setback. Lines up a tight end. Campbell to the outside.
Goodbye! Just a great game.
On 2nd and 8. Campbell. Outruns everyone to the right. Look out.
He's gone.
He may take it all the way. Puts his head down. 80-yard touchdown. This is over.
Oh, goodness.
What a show this man has put on tonight.
What you've seen tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is a truly great football player. In the late moments, take total personal command of a game.
And have you ever seen a man, maybe with the exception of Jimmy Brown, I don't think I've seen one at 230 pounds that can do what he does, agility and speed. But look at this.
Not on my Browns. But you know what? I don't even know why I claim them. You know, like going a small tangent about the Browns, and that's the one good thing about not watching football anymore is I don't have to watch the Browns suffer and continue to make horrible decisions by quarterbacks. I can't remember the last time they picked a good quarterback. I wasn't for Johnny Manziel. I wasn't for any of these picks. Like, they keep picking, oh my God, just horrible, horrible decisions, man. I mean, can't get right. They just can't get right. I don't know. But that's good. You know, that's helped my mental state a lot, is I don't have to pay attention to the Browns record anymore. I can just watch, you know, some real football teams play the game here, all right?
Player in the late moments, take total personal command of a game.
And have you ever seen a man, he's beautiful, maybe with the exception of Jimmy Brown, I don't think I've seen one at 230 pounds that can do what he does, agility and speed. But look at this. That is a big man with that kind of a move.
Great. There's a lot in the arsenal. What a cut here.
I don't think I've seen one at 230 pounds that can do what he does, agility and speed. But look at this. That is a big man with that
beautiful
kind of a move.
Here's a guy that not only became the NFL's Rookie of the Year, but the MVP.
Campbell. Outside. Campbell. Touchdown.
Nice. It's a Gatorade commercial or a Nike commercial that when you die. I remember LaDainian Tomlinson used to have those type of commercials.
Earl Campbell. Campbell breaks it. Campbell to the 50. Master in motion.
That was some weak tackling. Or he's just strong.
Earl Campbell. Campbell breaks it. Campbell to the 50. Master in motion.
He didn't even slow down.
Campbell.
He's got it.
He's got it.
Crazy.
After the greatest rookie season in NFL history, Campbell was a marked man.
I see him run over people, and then I see him run around, and I never saw him get caught from behind.
He turned linebackers into speed bumps and defensive backs into roadkill.
It was like he's inhuman.
That demoralizes a defense more than anything else. That 10-yard run where everybody took a shot at the guy and nobody had success. Matter of fact, he ran over one or two of you guys.
Yeah, it's like he's not just, going to the outside. You can also use him to go straight, to just get the touchdown, get the first down, and he's willing to power through it or go over the entire defense. I mean, he's a defensive nightmare. In terms of you don't know which way he can go. He just seems like he doesn't have a weakness that I can see. Maybe you guys can help me out with it.
That 10-yard run where everybody took a shot at the guy and nobody had success. Matter of fact, he ran over one or two of you guys.
I mean, look at the way he just took this guy out.
Nobody had success. Matter of fact, he ran over.
The way he went out is like they had to take him off the field after this. Okay, this is big dude, man. Just tuck him out.
Shot at the guy, and nobody had success. Matter of fact, he ran over one or two of you guys in the process.
Earl Campbell was frightening with a football under his arm.
If Earl was in a game, you didn't leave your seat. You put the binoculars on 34, and you stayed with him whatever he did.
Right. Is it me, or did they have better looking jerseys back in the day?
Whatever he did.
These throwbacks. Oh.
Touchdown, Earl Campbell. Oh, boy. Touchdown, Houston, Earl Campbell.
Oh, man.
Well, the Oilers' Earl Campbell has his second touchdown.
Front line.
Touchdown, Earl Campbell.
Oh, my goodness. This is beautiful.
Earl Campbell.
Oh, man.
Third down, less than two. Campbell, first down and more, 50.
That was a great block there. Hold on.
Third down, less than two. Campbell, first down and more, 50, 40, 30, 20. Touchdown, Houston. Campbell hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, and vaults out to the 21-yard line. Game of the week. Earl Campbell, big hole, and he's gone to the races again.
What was this recorded with? A Cowboys trash can?
Campbell hit in the backfield, breaks a tackle, and vaults out to the 21-yard line. Game of the week. Earl Campbell, big hole, and he's gone to the races again.
Locomotive. Screen.
Earl Campbell took the football in first.
Not on the Steelers. Remember when the Steelers had a run? My goodness.
Earl Campbell, big hole, and he's gone to the races again.
Earl Campbell took the football in first through.
Hey, he's disrespectful.
Pastorini to Campbell. Campbell now over 100 yards. Earl Campbell going even further to the 50, and he's all the way over to the...
You know, I think he scares his opponents. All right, they scared to tackle this dude.
Pastorini to Campbell. Campbell now over 100 yards.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Further to the 50, and he's all the way over to the 35-yard line of
I guess you can't grab what you can't touch.
Philadelphia. Boy, he broke that record in a big way, didn't he? He now has 7 straight 100-yard days.
And you see, he just froze John Bunning and then picks up some Jeff Goff on a block, finally pushed out of bounds.
Earl Campbell with the block from Wilson. Touchdown.
Yeah, these sports are better when they're angry, when they're going over bragging rights. We don't like to admit it, but that was the realm of men's sports. I love that everybody watches it now, but you just see it so watered down now, and everybody wants to hold hands. And Patrice O'Neal had a great joke about it. You know what I mean? If you don't know, but basically saying how the NFL used to be, and while I didn't grow up watching its growth, you know, I just saw it in parts. You know, I got to see Mike Vick's run. I got to see some runs. I got to see some of the Eagles with McNabb and T.O. I got to see some football, but not a lot, depending on, you know, where I was living at the time. So, you know, but for the most part, you know, I'm not an expert in the sport. I don't claim to be a historian of the NFL, but I do enjoy the sport thoroughly.
Although over 1,600 yards gained and 19 touchdowns scored.
You just could not tackle him with a hand or an arm. In fact, you couldn't tackle him with a shoulder a lot of times,
right?
Unless you had 2 or 3 sets of shoulders.
Yeah, a lot of people might be thinking about their career. You know, you risk grabbing this guy and pulling something out of its socket, and it's a contract year. You might just say forget that. At least that's how the new age think is a lot of times. But back then, I don't know if guys cared as much.
You couldn't tackle him with a shoulder a lot of times, unless you had 2 or 3 sets of shoulders.
I thought it was kind of girlish for one guy to tackle me. I mean, I wanted to have a bunch of them.
Disconnected my headset. I laughed so hard at that. He said, I thought it was girlish for 2. This is funny to me because this was my mindset. I've never played any sport, you know what I mean, aside from for fun. And one of the sports I played for fun was basketball. And I always thought it was disrespectful if one guy guarded me, you know what I mean? You know, so that's why that was funny to me uniquely. Like if one guy's guarding me, then I find it disrespectful.
And 19 touchdowns scored.
You just couldn't.
But to have that mindset in football is crazy. You're a psychopath.
Not tackle him with a hand or an arm. In fact, you couldn't tackle him with a shoulder a lot of times, unless you had 2 or 3 sets of shoulders.
I thought it was kind of girlish for one guy to tackle me. I mean, I wanted to have a bunch of them.
Is that him catching? He can catch too? Hold on. That's Campbell right there. He can throw. He said, sit down, little girl. Wow. What a play. Beautiful. He shook, and this guy's fast. Forrest Gump stride.
Oh, boy. Touchdown, Houston, Earl Campbell.
And that great strength of Earl Campbell. Very compact.
Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you like this type of content, leave a comment of, I don't know, whatever, your favorite team, what you think of the video, something. The engagement helps the video grow, and I appreciate it. Lets me know to do more sports commentary.
Touchdown, Houston, Earl Campbell.
And that great strength of Earl Campbell. Very compact.
He is fun to watch.
Oilers from there.
Now, every time somebody tries to tackle him, I just hear his voice. I thought it was girly for someone. It's kind of girlish for someone to tackle me more than what did he say? For just one person to tackle me. Excuse me.
Oilers from their 26-yard line. Again, Campbell.
Touchdown, Earl Campbell.
Wait a minute. How big is this guy? I mean, excuse me, but what? Earl Campbell. 5'11", 232 pounds. Okay, is that what he played at? 230. Okay, at 5'11", handling these dudes.
Campbell brushed off a tackle at the line of scrimmage, very close to the first down. Ball at the 16-yard line. Campbell for the first.
You know, the Chiefs had a lot of good errors. They're not just good now. And I think about it because even back in the day on Madden, they always had like a nice squad. Chiefs always had a great organization.
Campbell brushed off. Oilers from their 26-yard line. Again, Campbell.
Touchdown, Earl Campbell.
Campbell brushed off a tackle at the line of scrimmage, very close to the first down. Ball at the 60.
It's the more hardcore generation. Even when I think about my childhood, how on Halloween we used to have a competition who can get the most candy, which means we would be trick-or-treating at 3 a.m. in the morning in Cleveland, okay, when I was a kid. Now, I wouldn't let my son knock at anyone's door at 3 a.m. in the afternoon, strangers, but we used to do that, okay? Like, I would have, like, pillowcases full of candy, right? But then we also did things like we would climb on top of garages and we would jump off the garages onto the grass, like jump off of them. You know, I just look at, like, if my son jumped off a garage, I would lose my mind. All right, he's at the age I was, but I don't know what it was back then in terms of. It just seems like we were more sturdy. What's the word I'm looking for? We were more resilient back then. I think, you know, like at least the kids that I remember there was this kid that used to do backflips, and he could do backflips all the way down the block. And the kids in my neighborhood would have competitions of who could do the most backflips down the block. You know, I could never do a backflip. I tried it one time. I think I almost pulled a muscle in my stomach. It was painful. I could do front flips, but I never had the courage to like do a full backflip. But I just looked at the athleticism. We used to climb up poles and then like nail crates to like poles to make basketball rims. I must have nailed like, I don't know, hundreds of them when I was a kid. Things of that nature. Just it was a different time, you know, drinking from the water hose, neighbor's water hose. It doesn't matter whose water hose it is. All the different things from the 80s and the 90s compared to the kids today, where we basically protect the hell out of our kids compared to, you know, the universe we used to live in, you know, when you left the house and nobody knew where you were.
10-yard line, Campbell for the first and then some.
Misses everybody, but look at the ability of Earl Campbell. Well documented.
Left hands off to Campbell, breaks back to the near side, to the far sideline. Here goes Earl.
What made me think of that is the way he risked his body. Like he fears no injuries, and it didn't seem like they got injured as easily as they do now than the guys did back then.
Well documented.
This is also when testosterone levels were higher.
Left hands off to Campbell, breaks back to the near side, to the far sideline. Here goes Earl.
Oh. The one guy's taking a nap. Left that guy down there.
Cutback runner does what he does best, and then he just takes off around the outside.
Quick toss. He has that amazing speed for a big man. Superb blocking in front of it.
To Campbell, first down and more. 50, 40, 30, 20. Touchdown, Houston. Oh, my, what a start to this one.
And you know what? I don't even think it matters the level of talent in terms of making the NFL better. I think it's more so the love of the game, the competition, the rivalries, and how seriously people take it. That's what makes it special, you know. But there are things that kind of like are as far as the rule changes that affect a lot of that, and also the money these players are getting is ridiculous. So, you know, once they get a certain amount of money, they have to really love football. But some of them like football, but they don't love it. They just get paid a lot. They're just big guys, and they're good at the sport, but they don't really like the sport. They don't love the sport, which is also wild. But these are the reasons that I think that the game isn't as good as many think it used to be in terms of how much people love football back then versus how much they love it now. I think that the love of sports in general is declining.
He ran right through the tackle.
Touchdown, Houston. Earl Campbell.
That was too easy.
I'd have such a sting going. No secretary wanted, one guy wanted that.
I gotta make sure I'm not drinking when he's talking. He might have me spit out my coffee if he says something crazy.
Campbell just ran right out of the grass. The Earl of Campbell has scored.
He had freight train power. He was a rhinoceros with a football.
Continued a cattle stampede through the NFL.
It's like tackling a Coke machine.
That word's gonna kick my ass. A rhinoceros is a great analogy for Earl Campbell and the way he plays, the way he drops his shoulder and like just knocks out big guys.
I mean, he was a truck. He was a runaway freight train. Defensive coordinators had to scratch their head every night and say, how are we going to stop this guy? You better have a brick wall in front of him. That's the only way we're going to stop him.
Look at Bears.
Well, he knows the way. He scored 13 touchdowns this year.
That's just great footwork.
Well, he knows the way. He scored 13 touchdowns this year.
He gave out so many more hits probably that he took.
Right.
It's like, boom, hey, meet me, I'm Earl Campbell. Boom, hey, here, have some.
It's like he wants you to pay for tackling him.
Well, he knows the way. He scored 13 touchdowns this year.
He gave out so many more hits probably that he took. It's like, boom, hey, meet me, I'm Earl Campbell. Boom, hey, here, have some shoulder pad. Boom, here, have some elbow. Here, have some forearm.
He looks bigger right here. It looks like
ball, 1st and 10, backed up to their 5-yard line. Campbell picks up a first down. 4 minutes left in the first half. Campbell, 45, bounces off a tackle. 40, 35. What a run! Another blitz, and they give it to Campbell, and Campbell has the first down. He's loose at the 35, 40, 50, 45. Campbell with a 35. Second and
not while you're blitzing.
9 from the 14 on the delay. Campbell to the 10. Campbell fights his way to the 5 and out of bounds, and goal from the 2-yard line. Full house backfield. Campbell.
Just another human highlight reel here. 1980 season we're on. 13 touchdowns.
Once you start getting in the midst of the heat of the game, there is no telling what you would do.
Oh my God. You had to get him before he got going, because once he got going, boy, it was like a truck.
He ran so low that there was nothing to tackle.
This guy was one of the toughest football players in my mind that ever played.
Side over there, and look at the acceleration on this man, because he dips and goes outside. Mo Camper, number 58, never had a chance because of that great speed of number 34, Earl Campbell.
Looks like they were just running on dirt for a second.
I would make the argument that nobody has ever been more powerful as running back than Earl Campbell.
You know what? I am to a degree, I love to look at it from a different perspective. And and just disagree, just to play around with it. But I'm watching this guy on offense, and I agree with that statement. I mean, the way he hits people just as hard as you would think he was on defense. I mean, he's the running back. He's one of the most vulnerable people. You know, his only shield is his muscles being big and being able to take the hits. You know, but yeah, his job is to get hit, and he's giving out the hits.
Lead of number 34, Earl Campbell.
I would make the argument that nobody has ever been more powerful as running back than Earl Campbell.
I love to watch Earl, the way he ran over people. A lot of guys want to try to tackle him low, but if you hit him in the thighs, you're going to bounce off of him.
All the way to the 30-yard line and a first down.
That's where the speed was. That's where the power was.
He had to pull his jersey to get him down.
That's where the power was.
Campbell, touchdown. Not only the strength.
That's a good question. Is jersey pulling allowed in tackling? You know, if you can just get your hands on their jersey, is that allowed, or you have to grab the whole person?
Earl Campbell, he gets up inside. Everybody thinks that's where he's going. Now he goes outside.
Campbell, and he's going for that goal line. Just short of it. Nope, he's in. Touchdown.
Slow motion angles are amazing. I'm pretty sure you can pull jerseys, but I'm not 100% sure.
Campbell, touchdown.
First down and then some as Campbell breaks it to the 40.
You hear that grunting? That grown man, 80s grunt.
Feel what it must be like for those defensive backs to see 235 pounds hurtling at them.
He's just one of those backs, and I think this is what makes a great back, where he doesn't look like he's trying to get the first down. He always looks like he's going for the touchdown. You know, like there is no first down. Even when there's a first down line there, unless he's diving or jumping over, he's always had, which I think should be the mentality of every running back. But I think that some of them like are probably realists in their mind. Like, I'm only going to get about 5 or 10 yards here versus him. He thinks in his mind he can hit that end zone every time he gets the ball until someone stops him. I think that's the difference between the greats and just like your average running back. You know, aside from, God-given ability and the intelligence to be able to read the defense the way he can.
What a show this man has put on tonight.
Oh.
Campbell, he has great speed, and he has tremendous strength.
He can also catch the little 5-10 yard pass. He can throw. What can he do?
So my whole deal.
Right, so I would say he's definitely more versatile than Barry Sanders in terms of the things that he can do. Unless, did I see Barry Sanders do any amazing passes? I don't know. I have to go back and rewatch the highlights, but not really comparing the two. But Barry Sanders, to this day, some of the best highlights I've seen. But even comparing, I wouldn't know who to pick. To be honest with you, it's like splitting hairs with me if I had to choose between these two guys. I'm a fan of being able to run and not get hit and being elusive. But I also love those Titans that will run you to hell over as well, like this guy. All right, just built completely different.
Tremendous
So my whole deal was north and south. And when I was in college, I started watching films of Jim Brown. I tried to do everything he did, from even the way I walked when I wasn't carrying the ball, the way I got off the ground. So I epitomized my whole life as a running back after Jim Brown.
Campbell. Oh, look at this run.
That's what Kobe did after Mike. You know, I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know, you emulate your heroes until you create your own identity. You know, if you don't have it already, I am a fan of that.
Life as a running back after Jim Brown.
Campbell. Oh, look at this run. Touchdown. Wrestle in motion. Here's Earl. He's got it. And more. Down to the 1.
The thing that broke down right there, Cumbie tried to tackle him up too high. See, and he broke through those tackles.
Fans on their feet. They give it to Earl.
47.
Earl Campbell. Campbell breaks it. Campbell to the 50. Campbell finally pushed out of bounds.
Campbell, touchdown.
A tackle by Motown. Campbell takes the pitch and runs over people for first down yardage and still going.
That's one of the most impressive things I see him doing. These are NFL grown men grabbing this guy, and they're bigger than him. And he's barely breaking stride as he breaks one tackle, breaks the other tackle, and keeps going. It's just insane.
Touchdown. A tackle by Motown. Campbell takes the pitch.
Another
runs over people for first down yardage and still going.
Crazy.
The pitch back to Campbell. Earl Campbell. Now it's second down 12 from the 18, and here is Campbell.
Look at that. Oh.
Takes 2.
Campbell, touchdown.
8.5 minutes left. Nielsen throws to Campbell. A first down and much more than that. Campbell to midfield.
And Earl.
My homeboy Stuart Scott might have said it, but he would say something like, it takes 2 to make a thing go right. All right. It takes at least 2 people to tackle this guy on average. All right.
Just makes it.
Campbell, touchdown.
8.5 minutes left. Nielsen throws to Campbell. A first down and much more than that. Campbell to midfield.
Nice fast pass to him, too.
And Earl just makes it look easy on into the end zone. And a man had a shot at him, and he ran through that tackle as if it was made of feathers.
That's an embarrassing stiff arm right here. Watch this.
And a man had a shot at him, and he ran through that
Come on, man.
tackle as if it was made of feathers. Landry himself said it. He said that man is awesome. He's unbelievable. He can do it all, and he just did part of it here.
It's one of my favorite plays to run. You send your running back out 5 yards, pass it to him, make the read from there.
Unbelievable. He can do it all, and he just did part of it here.
It takes 2.
Feels a little pressure. Screens to his right. Throws back a screen to Campbell on the left side. A couple of good blocks, and here goes Earl.
You saw on camera, you saw the defenses that feared him.
This is. Yeah, I'm thinking on defense, like, what the hell do we do? You know, if I'm going against these guys, like, what do you do? You know, the double team is mandatory, but that's what he's used to. All right. I mean, how many resources are you going to allocate to this one guy? Okay. You better not have any other weapons on the field.
This is a man that wanted to get in there. There isn't anything there.
When I see Earl Campbell, I think there's no running back more fun to watch.
I wouldn't say all of that, but pretty damn close. There's a lot of amazing running backs out there. I wouldn't mind going back and revisiting Marshall Faulk. Man, he looks as big as Jerome Bettis here, you know.
To be able to do that and have that type of stamina, to be that big of a man, that's nothing short of incredible.
It's incredible.
I get to my car, radio is on, country music playing.
Oh my God, this is the black Chuck Norris over here.
I get to my car, radio is on, country music playing.
Yeah, and that looks like the type of truck he would drive too. Yeah.
All of a sudden, you hear Earl Campbell got traded. I said, "That's me."
I really have mixed emotion about the Earl Campbell trade because I think Bum is really trading for what Earl once was. But
I think about it. I did see some kids wearing a lot of Campbell jerseys back in the day when I was a kid. You know, people wear different jerseys, different names. That was a popular one.
I don't think he's still the same Earl that he was then.
We didn't have as good football players at New Orleans as we had at Houston. I mean, you can be a great running back, but if you got no place to run, you just got no place to run.
In his prime, that was
he played for the Saints.
The standard by which everything was measured in the sport.
Ooh.
He wasn't able to play as long as some of the
Cowboys dominate them.
He wasn't able to play as long as some of the other great running backs. I don't think that.
Yeah, of course. The way he plays, I was thinking in my head, I wonder how long his career lasted. I was thinking that, like, you know, couldn't have been more than a few years.
As some of the other great running backs. I don't think that diminishes anything that he's done,
though. Listen, when you're a running back, you're literally a workhorse until you get that fatal injury that just takes you, you know, where you're not the same anymore. It's, you know, that's just the nature of the game, okay?
That he's done,
It's on second down. Campbell again with Gaijon leading through. Four-man rush into the flat for the man with no hands. I think that conversation with Bum Phillips has lit the
jumped up and caught him.
Earl Campbell. You asked Bum, and it was really a telling statement. You said, Bum, did you make a bad trade for Earl Campbell? And he said, I don't know.
He called home and he said, Renee, I think that I'm going to have to retire. I've lost some steps. It's time for me to move aside and let the younger men come in.
I never once dreamed.
I'm confused because they were showing me all these amazing highlights, so I'm thinking that the story was going to go different, like that he played against his former team and smashed them and won. The way it was edited, that's the way I was thinking it was going to go. But looks like he just realized he's not the same.
That I would one day get voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I wish there was some way where all those guys involved in that offensive line that I could bring to Canton, Ohio with me.
That offensive line.
I've got a lot of memories. Been around a long time. When I stop and think about it, Earl Campbell, you are my greatest memory of all.
I thank you all so much. Everything.
That's my quarterback.
He's something special. There have been some great backs come along, but I can tell you now, you know, he is at the top of that.
You've never seen a jersey shred like that, okay? He definitely had to sign a new contract with the jerseys.
He's something special. There have been some great backs come along, but I can tell you now, you know, he is at the top of that. You can be great,
and not be as good as Earl Campbell.
Right. So prior to me watching these highlights, you know, my favorite running back was Adrian Peterson, and then I saw Barry Sanders, and then I'm watching these guys here like Earl Campbell. You know, it's hard to pick a favorite. They're all amazing, you know, but the further back you go, the more impressive, you know, and a lot of times you see where they get the game from. This was a great request and a little bit of education for me as well. So I appreciate the Patreon member that sent in a request for this one. He was amazing, absolutely amazing and fun to watch. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to it. If you did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you want to buy a coffee to support the show. As most of these reactions, especially about sports, are not monetized, so you guys power the show as well. And yeah, until next time, peace.
I did it.